Let's go!
It's time for the Lady Charmaine's Gospel Minute, keeping you up to date on all your favorite celebrities in the gospel music industry. From tour dates, CD releases, and all your favorite gospel television shows. It's not Hollywood gossip. It's the Gospel Minute with Lady Charmaine.
Well, my guest today is known as the sassy, vibrant, beautiful half of Alexander O'Neal and Cherrelle. In the 1980s, we enjoyed their collaborations as well as their solo projects, which brought them both much success. After several years apart, they're now back to talk about their new song and new story on TV1's Unsung. It's entitled The Story of Alexander O'Neal and Cherrelle. Help me welcome Cherrelle to the show. Hi, Cherrelle. How you doing?
Hi, Lady Charmaine. How are you?
I am great. It is so good to have you on the show. You're like a good old flashback.
I know that's right, twin. I know.
It is so good because, like I was, growing up, I used to hear I look like you so much that it was so amazing, and you are still just as cute as you want to be because I did see the preview or the pre-show before it airs for everybody else of the Unsung story, and you're still just as cute as you want to be.
Well, thank you. I was going to say, was I okay?
Oh, yeah, you were. You're just as cute and just as spunky and sassy. You know what, Cherrelle, you want to know what's so funny? I learned something new about you watching the Unsung story. I didn't know you grew up. Yeah, you grew up in Beverly Hills, and I didn't know that you grew up in Beverly Hills. Now, were there a lot of African Americans in your neighborhood?
Was that what? I'm sorry. Ask me that again. I'm sorry.
Were there a lot of African Americans in your neighborhood in Beverly Hills?
Yeah, it was. It was a lot. And it's so funny because I never, ever wanted to, get into that part of my life. I really didn't. Because I never wanted anybody to think that that's the reason I got into the industry. Is because my parents had, had money. So I never wanted nobody to think that I didn't never work hard, you know what I'm saying? Or that, I didn't have to get out there in the trenches, and I did. I would never let my parents, help me, do anything, it was, see, for them, I had to go to college, so that was there, they didn't care. As long as I had to go, as long as college was in there on the bus, down the street, they didn't care how I had to do whatever, as long as school was in there. So anything after that, I really had to go hard by myself. So I really didn't want people to know that about my life, because no one ever did. So, and I'm no different than anybody else. And
right.
I didn't ever wanted to be treated any differently.
And that's,
I wanted to. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, and that's what I liked about you, because you never showed that part about you. That's why I was so surprised when I saw the Unsung. I'm like, are you serious? Because she was just a cool, down-to-earth girl. You didn't come with any airs, any attitudes.
Never.
No diva attitude, and that's what I really appreciated about you.
No, I didn't, and that's why, when they first came at me, I was like, I've kept this all these years, you know what I mean? And I was like, I really don't have a sad story to tell you. You know what I mean? I'm not, and then I was like, okay, Lord, I've saved this. I've done this all my life like this and been fine with it, and I really had to pray really hard before I said yes that I was going to do it. And then when I did, I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I won't do this without Alexander O'Neal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't want this whole thing to be in my life like that, because my life is my life.
Right.
And I never, it's been fine. It's been good with my kids. It's been good for my family. It stays good with my church home. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I haven't had any problems. My friends are still my same friends. You know what I mean? So I just didn't want it to get out of hand.
And it didn't. I mean, it was just great because I think it's more of an appreciation for still how you carried yourself. And so that, I think you're going to gain even more fans because of that, or more admirers because of that, because you kept yourself down to earth and you didn't want that to be in the limelight. You didn't want anybody to know, who your parents were or what they did. And it really shows. And it's just a great appreciation for you. So thank you for that, for sharing that with us.
Okay.
Now, did you always?
You're so welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Did you always want to be a singer? Because growing up,
always.
Where you grew up, you always wanted to be one.
Always. I always wanted to be an entertainer. Always. So that and law school. That and law school were the two things that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like my mother was in the medical field, and of course, my father was in law. Mm-hmm. So it was, and it's funny because all of my kids are medical people, and my sister's in the law field. You see what I mean? So my kids would not deal with that. Like they were role babies coming up. But the good part about my kids and my sister being in both fields is now they are. All of them work for me. You know what I mean? Like, they're the head of my company now. You see, presidents and vice presidents of my company, so it works.
Okay, so it's a family business now. Now, how did you and Terry Lewis and Jimmy Jam hook up? Tell us about that whole connection.
Wow, it's so funny. How did we hook up? Well, from my understanding, and they had just gotten fired from the time, and then here come little old me, and we all are here together. And I really did not know. This was the sad part. I think I said, "You're going to work with these guys named Jimmy Jam and Cherrelle." And I was like, "Who are they? And what do they do?" because I wasn't there. Like, everybody was a fan, but I just wasn't a fan. Like, I used to be mad. Like, I used to get mad at the boys. Like, when I would see them, and at the end they would pull up on their class, I would think, "Oh my God, that is so incredibly nasty looking. Like, that is not cool." That's what I used to say. I said, "Okay, I gotta get cool here. I gotta get cool. I can't act like I don't know."
Acting new. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, "Okay, so what's happening?"
Wow.
It was so funny. And then the boys and I both are my big brothers. Oh my God. And it just worked from there. It was just like they knew, but they knew, like, they came to one of my family's home. And I think we were in the hills. We were in, like, I think it was in Woodland Hills or something like that. And then they came, they looked and said, "Oh my God, we're gonna deal with one of these," you know.
Mm-hmm.
But we were cool. Like, I was all cool. And they've been like, I don't do anything without Jimmy and Terry, or without Terry, like, saying yes or no, because we're so close. Like, we did everything. We slept on the floor together. We started everything together. You know, like, we left LA, came to Minneapolis to stay. People think I did my second album in the basement of somebody's house. You know, it didn't go like most people thought it was supposed to, which was good for me. Like, but I thank the boys to this day. Those are my brothers. Love them.
Yeah, I can see they have great relationships with everybody they work with. You can just really tell they get into
I love my brothers, baby.
The artists that they work with, and they get in tune with you, not just writing music, but music that's for you, that you can truly relate to. Now, how did Alexander O'Neal come into this mix?
Wow, okay. Well, of course, you know, I already had a record out, so I was, and so then he, like, I think it was somebody else on our label that Jimmy and Cherrelle working with, and he was acting not acting right or whatever. And then with him not acting really cool, they was like, I think I wasn't working, I guess. So then they said, I got somebody else. So then Alex became that person that was another person's job, if you really want to know, career. And he came in, and I did Innocent. I was the little girl. I played the little girl as the innocent girl on his first album. And we were like, yes, we should do this again. And I didn't know Jimmy and Cherrelle was thinking the same thing. And then out of that, my next album became Saturday Love, and it's been history ever since.
See, that Saturday Love blew you up.
Yeah, it's been history ever since. The thing with Alex, and I love Alex, you know, I know no one can sing like Alex. And the thing I think, so like I said, with he and I, is we sing to each other and not at each other.
Right.
So, you know, like a lot of people don't understand what a duet means. And, you know, it's just like, it doesn't mean a male and a female singing. It can be two males, two little kids. It can be whatever. It's you know, it's two people, but, you know, the melody flows together, and no one's always hollering at each other. You can understand both sides, and it still sounds like one.
Do you think that's why a lot of people thought you and Alexander had a relationship, because you both sang so well together and it was such a connection?
Yes, Lord. And you know what? That's a shameful God, because, see, people don't understand that you do not have to have a relationship with somebody. Alex is, I'm the auntie to all his children. He's the uncle to all my children. And I'm the sister-in-law to he and his wife, you know. So, no. He's the brother-in-law to my family. So, no. It's just been, we just sing together. We praise and worship together. We just we're just normal. If anybody, we don't live, because we never lived the lifestyle. Like, I never lived the lifestyle of what somebody wanted me or to be, and even to be. And a lot of people say, well, you know, Alex went through this and whatever. And I had to tell people, I said, I was the baby. I knew nothing about none of that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like, they were asking me because, oh, well, you know, Alex is going through his changes and about his intervention. And I'm like, you're talking to somebody that was totally sheltered. Like, they kept me like at a, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
Because I don't know. When somebody mentioned that they were doing that to me on Unsung, and I was like, they did what? Like, I don't know.
So they really had you sheltered. That you had no idea.
Oh, yeah, very sheltered.
I think a lot of people really didn't know. I think Unsung is really going to enlighten a lot of people about what was going on, even with Alexander O'Neal, because it enlightened me as well. If you're just tuning in, we're talking to Cherrelle of Alexander O'Neal and Cherrelle. We're talking about their series is going to be airing this coming Monday. It's entitled The Story of Alexander O'Neal and Cherrelle. Now, Cherrelle, did you expect your career to take off, especially with Saturday Love? Did you expect it to be such a big hit?
No, I hated that record. Hated it.
Really?
Really, that I hated that record. I mean, that was not one of my favorites because I guess I'm gonna tell you why. I guess because I was really older and looked younger. Mm-hmm. So when I started, I was like, why do I have to sing these little bitty Sunday, Monday? Why do I have to do the days of the week? Like I was a Barbara Streisand fan, just still is, because I just like everything she does, from directing to the acting, and theatrical arts is what I majored in school. So, you know, I just loved her, loved her work. So I would love her a lot. So when I was like, I had a big voice, but I understand it now because it left me room to grow, you know? Mm-hmm. It left me room to grow. I never understood what Jimmy and Terry were doing at that time, but I thank God for them, you know? And I also think I'm so glad that I can foresee what had been done already. So now that I'm making this next step into my career, next step into to my evolution of evolving into this next place, that I know just where I am or what square I'm on, how I'm going to stand, and you know what I'm saying, and how I'm going to always keep my heart and my spirit, because I'm not going to sell my soul for nothing and nobody.
I know that's right.
I ain't going to do that for nothing and nobody, because as long as I can put a choir robe on and do an A&B selection, I'm fine.
Are you going to ever sing or make a gospel album?
Yes. Yeah, I am. I got a spiritual record that's going to be on the album. What's uplifting? Like it's probably, what can I say? It's probably one of those songs like Yolanda Adams had. When she came out with well, you know which one I'm talking about.
Oh, Open My Heart.
Open My Heart. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have one called This. It's called This Time. So you'll be hearing that soon.
Okay, well, make sure you send it to me now so I can play it.
I will.
Now, going through, because you evolved, and people really have to watch Unsung, because you really went through a lot, and you had a personal tragedy that happened to you, and you truly overcame that. Tell us, how did you overcome that personal tragedy?
You know what? It was strictly through faith, through prayer, through intercessors, through just, I'm telling you, I have to give it all up. I got to give it all up to his grace and mercy, because I don't know how I got through it, but it couldn't have been but one person, you know? Mm-hmm. It was one of the hardest things I had to endure, and then had to turn around and endure that with my father, which was my everything, you know? Mm-hmm. Like my manager, everything from a kid, you know, like my lawyer, my manager, my best friend, my confidant, my kid's grandparents, just the whole 9 yards. It was just so hard, but I can say that God won't give you no more than you can bear, and He will never give you no more than you can bear. I mean, the days that I didn't think that I was going to have the strength to even get up, I was, the more I prayed, the stronger I got, and understanding death is the most important thing, and understanding life. You know what I mean? It's even more important. And when you understand a good life, a clean life, a life with the word involved, then you'll understand death.
Right.
It's real easy. You know, the homegoing of it is the most beautiful thing. So the good part of it, losing my husband, prepared me. Like, the homegoing of my father was one of the most beautiful things I could have ever endured. You see what I mean? Now put it to you like that. It was beautiful.
Wow, that's nice to hear. So for those of you who don't know exactly what she's talking about, then you have to watch it on Monday. Watch the story of Alexander O'Neal and Cherrelle. Is going to be airing 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if somebody wanted to follow your career, Cherrelle, how can they do that?
If someone can follow my career?
Mm-hmm. You have a website, MySpace, Twitter, you tweet?
I have it. You know what? That's funny. I have a Facebook. There's a Facebook that is Cherrelle Walton. You can go on, and now I hate to do this with the website and all that. I'm going to have to get really cool. In a minute, I guess I'll have one of those tweeter things.
Wow.
I'm going to get cool with that. I'm telling you. I think my kids are going to set that up. I just don't. I'm just going to be honest. Now, I will go on the Facebook and say, talk back as much as I can. But it's funny because I'm so busy and I'm on the road so much that sometimes, and I just say this to all my fans, I love you, the support, but girls and boys, sometimes I'm so tired by the time I finish off the stage and do what I'm doing. Only thing I can do is lay down. I don't have time. My eyes can't even see a screen. So I just keeping it real.
Wow.
Do they want me to literally go on an email, go on something? Are you guys for real? Am I supposed to go talk online after this too?
Especially you have a new project coming out. I know you're in your car.
Wait a minute, baby. Wait a minute. A big old Cobra truck is coming over in this direction. That you probably can hear. Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry.
So everybody that's listening, Cherrelle, she's in her car doing the interview.
I know. Big Cobra truck. I'm outside of my hair. I'm literally outside of the nail studio doing this.
Well, I want to thank you for doing it. Now, I know you talk about your kids. Let us know how many kids you have and how old they are.
Oh, Lord. I tell you what, I have 3 daughters. I have 3 daughters, one 33, 29, and one will be 18, and I have a 5-year-old grandson.
You got adult children. They grown.
See, they grown. I told you I got a president, vice president. They're running the whole board. They run my whole production, my whole everything now.
So you really were, when you said you looked younger, but you were older, you really were older because you really did look young. I wasn't expecting those ages to come out. So you really have a youthful look that God has truly preserved you. Yeah,
God has really, really done a great job of preserving me. That's why right now it's like, okay, now you're going to stand in alignment of both the two things I need you to do. And what I'm doing, you will see that next.
All right. Well, Cherrelle, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It was always a pleasure. We definitely want to have you back when you come out with your new project. I definitely want to hear the inspirational song you have on there, and make sure it's sent to me so I can play it.
Okay.
Okay, lady. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Lady Charmaine. It's been a pleasure.